It took me 27 years to realize that all the pain, struggles, trauma that I have been through was never happening to me, it was happening for me. And the moment I decided to not let past dictate how my future is gonna go, stop being in that victim mode, that's when my entire life changed. I went from a waitress, broken English, a girl that never felt like she is that special or that she even fits in the regular, let alone be special, to today have helped over 10,000 women make an online income and quit their job, made millions of dollars. We make money that I have never even seen anyone around me make. We live in our dream country. We drive whatever car we want. There's a lot that I want to talk to you guys about. So let's get right into it. So growing up, I was thought to be invisible. And then suddenly, after living 18 years in Saudi Arabia, I was thrown into the real world that I was literally in culture shock. Moving from Saudi Arabia, a very conservative country, all the way to Canada, where everything, you can do whatever you want. It was a lot. On top of all that culture shock, I never fit in Saudi, let alone now I'm not fitting in a whole different country, which is Canada, because I actually don't fit in. My dad called me and he said, Afnan, I cannot send you money anymore. My business is not doing amazing. So I went from a girl that never had to work a job, well, it was never even allowed to work a job in Saudi, to now I have to work a job and I must be a hireable person ASAP with my broken English, with going to university, taking so many courses all at once so I can finish fast. And honestly, guys, for years, I let my past determine how my future is gonna go. I thought every setback meant that was a proof that I was not meant for more. Every struggle meant that I'm gonna have a hard life. And I use all my struggles as an excuse instead of a fuel. I was so busy being a victim that I forgot that I can change my entire life if I choose different. Working as a waitress, going to university, studying, passing my exam while commuting 3 hours taught me time management. I was very, very, very particular on what do I do every single hour, because that hour can either break or make my marks, can either get me fired or can get me a raise. So I was extremely amazing at time management that everyone was like, Afnan, how are you doing all these things? There was no other choice but to survive that season. Now, other things that being a waitress taught me was reading people. Probably one of the best things that I've done was become a waitress, because I got so good at, number one, understanding and reading the energy of the room. When I go to a table, I'm like, are these people happy? Do they need more entertainment? Do they want to be left alone? Should I talk to the girl or the guy, the family? Who's the boss here? Who's gonna pay the bill? You get so good at reading people, and in business, reading people is literally everything. Another thing serving taught me was communication. I got so good at selling, upselling, communicating, being maybe so excited, maybe being not so excited because they're more laid back. Literally just so good at sales that I will make the bill so high, so my tip is higher, and that have always got me literally making the highest tips amongst every server in the same restaurant, because I got good at sales, entertaining, psychology. All serves a huge role in making millions of dollars. All of these survival skills became my superpowers in business. But everything changed when I realized that the pain was actually my power, because struggle taught me strength, rejection taught me resilience, and the isolation taught me to trust myself, trust my decisions, understand what does Afnan want to do, sit with myself a lot and not be influenced by all my friends and family around me, because I was so isolated. I got to meet the real me without all the distraction and all the noise that people are always surrounded with. And this is why I tell people it is so important to go through a stage of isolation. I pray nobody goes through it unintentionally. I hope you go through it intentionally, where you have your friends, but you decide and you tell them, I love you guys, but I want to isolate myself for a little bit and I want to really work on me. And it took me 27 years to understand these specific lessons. Number one, that your circumstances don't actually define who you are, but your response is what actually defines who you are. So what do you do with your circumstance? Because you're not the only person in this entire world with these circumstances. There are people with the same circumstances that you're going through that have become very successful, that have made millions of dollars, that have retired their parents. The second thing that I learned is what almost always feels like a punishment in your life, and you start asking, why me? Why is this happening for me? Is probably the preparation to the biggest breakthrough if you keep pushing through. The most money I've made was always after a season of heartbreak, of friends betraying me, of big embarrassment, a huge money loss, a huge investment loss, and I went through all of it. I probably go through the most ups and downs, but every low have gotten me a bigger high that I could have never ever experienced if it wasn't for the low. Now the third thing is all the skills that will make you successful, unfortunately, they are learned in the struggle, not in comfort. When you're comfortable, you're not learning. There's no lessons. You need lessons in your life, and that happens when you're struggling, when your back is against the wall, when you're trying to figure something new, when you take a new risk. For example, I just launched my new business a couple months ago, and the amount of things that I thought I knew that I had no clue, almost every single day for 60 days, for 2 months, I was like almost slapped in the face by how many things I was learning, and I was sick to my stomach, like, because it was like mistakes over learning new things. My brain feels like it's gonna explode. I feel like, you guys get what I'm saying. That's what it takes to go to the next level. So if you're going through a hard season right now, if you're going through struggle right now, just know a breakthrough is coming, and this is where you learn the most skills that will serve you in ways I cannot even describe to you. Dubai is so nice at night. I haven't been at night in so long.
It's so pretty around.
Wow, I haven't literally been around in so long. All I do is just sit at home and work. Lesson that I had to learn was, as much as we love, and we would love that to happen, no one is coming to save us. Not a family member. Definitely not a man. Not even a coach. All these people can guide you, can pray for you, can love you, but at the end of the day, you will have to save yourself. And the faster you understand that, the faster you just be like, okay, well, what am I waiting for? Let me just do something with my life and see where can we end up. But you have to understand, nobody is gonna come save you. You're gonna think sometimes a man is coming to save you, but that's probably temporary. And if it's not temporary, you never wanna fully rely on anyone, because when people, and especially bad people, when they have power, they will abuse that power. Now, I pray no woman around me or watching this video gets around horrible men, but the stories in my DMs tell you otherwise. Now, another thing that I realized after making millions of dollars is making a lot of money doesn't solve all problems. It solves, I would say, 98% of the problems. There's 2% problems that it does not solve. What is it? Number one, love, of course. That's a whole separate topic for another day. But you know what it did not heal? It did not heal the trauma of me never feeling enough when I was a child. That rolled over to even when I had money. I'm like, am I even enough? Do I even deserve all of this money? When people were paying me a lot of money, I would almost sabotage it on making them not want to pay me because I just felt like I didn't deserve it. And even when they did pay me, I would find any way to spend it on the most stupid things ever because I just felt like I don't deserve it. Like I just want to like get it off me, which is crazy. And you don't realize it because you're in your life until you reflect on it. So I had so many traumas, attachment issues from my childhood, feeling that I'm not worthy of love, I'm not worthy of doing something great, that I honestly always had to do way more than so many people to just be accepted. Because growing up, my whole life, I was just never accepted for just who I am. I was accepted for the version that everyone wanted Afnan to be. The version of me that my family wanted, but that wasn't the real me. The version that my friends of me that they wanted, and that wasn't me. So many people had titles, ideas on how I should be acting, what I should be doing. That was not my true self, and it was so sad. Like anything I did, like don't do this, don't do that, that's not good, that's not how girls do it, you're not allowed, you're this. And it's like, oh my God, So I've always had almost identity crisis on what I really should do and be and act and say. And it's like everyone is always watching. Until I healed those traumas. But money did not heal those traumas. You know what healed it? Actually healing it. Actually doing work on understanding why you act a certain way and changing that behavior. But what money did was give me resources. A lot of my friends do therapy and I see how their growth is, how much they're so healed and they're so mature and they understand why they do things a certain way. So money gives you the resources. It gives you time to sit with yourself, take a vacation, really understand yourself. And I think that is very, very beautiful. And my biggest transformation happened when I just realized I don't need to prove myself to anyone. I don't need to prove that I am worthy, that I deserve the money, to deserve success. I just wanted to act from my true, authentic self. Work so hard just for me to be proud of myself and my progress, not to prove, oh, you see, I told you I'm gonna do this. Oh, you see, I am worthy of love. I am worthy of money. Because that is draining and that is toxic. My presence was enough. My voice was enough. And all the achievements, at the end of the day, they were for me, not for anyone else. Whoever wanted to judge, they can judge. But I know why I do everything. No one have seen little Afnan go through everything to get to where she is, but Afnan. So no one can have a say on Afnan's life, but Afnan. And maybe my future husband, maybe 1% chance. So everything that I have been through shaped me to who I am. A girl that is building $1 million businesses all around. A girl that is leading. A girl that knows, even if she is not saying one word, she knows the power that she has within her. And that power to, as soon as she is in the presence of someone, they are going to be impacted for the rest of their life. That's how powerful I know I am. My energy, my words, my knowledge have always changed someone's life that comes across me, whether it's briefly or we have a full-on interaction. And I just stopped being a victim. I started realizing that, you know who writes the book of my story? You know who is in control of everything in my life? It's not my parents, it's not my friends, it's not this, it's not that, it's me. So if I want a different partner, I'm just gonna leave my partner. If I want a different job, I'm just gonna leave the job. If I want to live in a new country, to learn new hobbies at any age, that applies to 20, to 30s, to 40s, to 50s. Matter of fact, it also applies to 60s. You are the author of your life. Start writing a book that is worth reading. And with that being said, the message of today is your story, all the hardships, all the painful moments that no one sees but you, all the sleepless nights, the nights where you spent crying because you knew you're meant for more and you knew you deserve more, that all is your superpower. Start using it instead of being a victim of it. Start looking deeper in your life and understanding why you're so special. How can you apply your actual gifts, your superpowers, and go write the best motherfucking, excuse my French, book life to ever exist? Because we live once and might as well have a life worth talking about, worth living. I love you guys. Let me know what pains and struggles you've been through down below. Let's make $1 million because that's always the message. Let's make $1 million.